Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hard Nine podcast. Today is July the 18th, and we are about to kick off the second half, even though we're a little bit beyond that, of
Yeah.
the Major League Baseball season. Cardinals enter after the All-Star break, play 4.5 behind the Brewers. How are we feeling?
Well, they're in a playoff spot. That's the good news. The bad news is the rest of the season is not going to be easy. The schedule is tough, especially in August. And they open up against the Braves, so that's obviously going to be tough. But I guess feeling better than how I thought we'd be feeling if you asked me 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's interesting because we were riding the high last week, and then all of a sudden you come home and you're thinking, okay, Royals Cubs 6 games. Even you even said even if we split, don't feel too bad. Should go 4-2, and then you go 2-4, and it's like all of a sudden that tone sort of changes a little bit. When you enter in the second half of play, the two things that concern me the most are we're starting to see the starting pitching slip a little bit. I mean, obviously more than a little bit. And honestly, I still feel good about this offense, but when you look at the fact that I think it's 4.1 runs a game, third worst in the National League, that's still, I mean, now that is a culmination, so it has gotten better. Like, I'm not going to argue that it hasn't, but that is still something that every once in a while rears its ugly head where the offense goes missing for days on end. And if you don't have the top level arms, which the Cardinals have good arms, they don't have those top level arms.
They have
That's going to
one.
hurt you.
They have one top level arm.
Who
Center.
also has honestly been pretty inconsistent lately.
Yeah, but he's still been really good. Yeah, I don't. The rotation's my concern. Like, I'm not concerned about the offense. I think Burleson and Mason Wynn and Contreras and getting Newbar back and Donovan playing the way he has. Like, I think the pieces are there and they're starting to come together. It's the pitching that's concerning now. Like, I like Sonny Gray a lot. I think he's really good. So that put him in like the category by himself. Kyle Gibson's been inconsistent at best lately since his back injury. And Miles Michaelis and Lance Lynn are either going to be all right or they're going to just lose you a game. Like that's what
Correct.
those two have been. And Plante's been pretty good, so whatever. But we'll see what he does second half of the year. So I don't like they need to make a trade and hopefully just play good baseball until the deadline. And if they don't make moves at the deadline, like significant enough moves, this team's probably not going anywhere. So we'll know in 13 days.
With that smaller number, the impact that they can get, I don't know what's out there that unless as a fan you're comfortable giving up way too much to get.
I mean, I don't know. Like Jack Flaherty's going to be out there. Um, I don't know. Like I don't know the answer. Like there could be teams looking like the Mariners could be interesting. Maybe they're looking for a bat. Um, they want a bat for a starter. Like maybe something like that happens. I don't know. Those deals seem like tough ones to make in the middle of the season. Like I don't think even if the Mariners really loved like fill in the blank, Nolan Gorman, and in the offseason they'd be willing to trade something for it. I don't know if they'll be willing to do that in the middle of the season. But I don't know. Like it takes three of those teams that you just said having a bad 2 weeks and they're selling.
Which is sort of why I let off with it feels like, and it's there's so much that can happen between now and the trade deadline
Yeah, like I don't
because
think
there
it's a
is.
foregone conclusion that the Rangers aren't selling. And if it is, that's ridiculous. What if they lose four of the next five?
So let me ask you this: what if the Cardinals come out of the chute and go 1-6?
Then they'll still be in the race. The Rangers
You think?
wouldn't be, they'd be out of it.
Okay, I will see. I
I mean, they
think. I
wouldn't. They
mean,
wouldn't. I mean, they might convince themselves, but they wouldn't be. Like if
yeah,
they
I
end
think
up
it's.
being 7 games back of the West and 9 or 10 back of the wild card, they're not in the race. And what world is that in it?
I mean, we've seen crazier things happen in the last 2 months.
I mean, sure, if you want to bet on a 1 in a million chance, I guess if you that's fine, but it's
I
not
mean, I
going to
think
happen.
that's what that organization will do. They've invested in that team. Like, I wouldn't be
They
shocked
also,
if
but
they
you're
do that.
also you'd be shocked if they end up being bad that they sell when there have been reports that they're already looking at that.
Well, I have not seen those reports. So the
Or what
reports I
John
have seen
Morosi
say
literally.
quite the opposite.
What reports have you seen that said they're not selling? I've
I mean,
seen
the interviews with Max, the interviews with their
Max has nothing
GM,
to do with
the
that.
interview with
Of
the
course, he's
GM
going to
who
say
said
that.
we're going to maybe potentially be looking to add at the deadline.
I've
Like,
never,
that's
I
all I'm
haven't seen
saying.
that.
We don't know. Like,
That's on,
I think
yeah, but like if the Rangers end up like 7 games under 500 in 2 weeks, they're not buying.
so. Let's look at it like this then. if you're looking at the pool of players who are going to be out there, and now let's look at the amount of teams that are going to be buying, where in your mind does that put the Cardinals? Like as far as what can they do? Realistically, what can they do? What do you think they should do?
I don't know. I don't think we will. What they should do is do everything they can to get a starter better than Kyle Gibson, in their rotation. That should be the goal. Like I'm not saying you have to get a guy that is guaranteed to be a two, but he has to have the upside of that. Like Toronto's the team I'm looking at right now. Um, like, are they willing to deal Gossman? And maybe that won't cost much because of his contract and the fact that that doesn't look like it's gonna work out. Are they willing to deal Chris Bassett? Obviously the Rangers too. Like, if the Rangers have a bad week here, like if we look back in a week and say they're definitely selling, like that's possible.
Correct.
Then Max Scherzer will be available. Volley will be available. So I don't know Detroit. Like, I like Jack Flaherty. I don't see that happening, but I don't know. Like, is Blake Snell going to be available? We just genuinely don't know what it's going to look like. So that he has
Yeah.
to be creative. Like the best trade he's made in the last 5 years on the deadline was with a team that was in contention, and the Yankees. So something like that could happen. He's got to be creative, but it's on him because he goes into the season with incomplete teams, hoping to get to the deadline to be able to make moves. Now you're at the deadline and you need to make a move.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement that he has to make something that's not bringing in a number five starter.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
Please.
Just don't do anything. That's if he and the front office believe that they need a number five starter, they have legitimately not been watching their own team, and they don't know what they're doing. That is ridiculous that you think you need someone to replace Andre Palante instead of Lance Lynn and Miles Michaelis, who are the most inconsistent pitchers maybe in baseball. If you think those you need someone for Palante's spot and maybe Matz comes back and helps out with that, then you're stupid and you're not trying to win. Just do
Yeah,
nothing and save the
I
prospect.
agree.
And then also, if you do that, save the prospects and let someone else make decisions next year, and you should retire because then you've lost all touch with anything. I don't think he will do that, but if he does, like legitimately, that would be the dumbest thing you could do is trade Gordon Graceffo for a guy who might not even be better than him.
That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. There are people out there who feel like if he's not going to do something big, he should just sell. Where do you stand on that?
Like, what is selling for this team?
My assumption is older veteran players. Is my guess. Miles Michaelis. Um,
You can't.
I don't know what you can get. I'm
I
throwing
don't
out
know if we
names.
can sell any of the guys that
Goldschmidt,
you'd want to sell.
Arenado, guys
Yeah,
like that is what I'm guessing is who they're talking about.
I mean that's just you don't sell when you're in a playoff spot, so like that's just
I
not a thing.
we fully agree there.
Also, you can't. Any of those guys you named, like the only one you could trade was Goldie. No one else is getting traded. And Kyle Gibson. Those are like the two you could trade.
Moving forward, what are your expectations for this the second half? What are we right? What is the record right now? I just looked it up and I forgot what it was.
They're 4 games above 500.
50 and 46. I said originally 80 wins. That would mean that they don't have a very good second half.
Mhm.
Where do you think they stand heading forward as far as you're looking at 66 games left? And how many do you think they need to win the division or to make the playoffs?
How many wins do they think they need to
Yeah.
win the division? Probably 92 to 95 for the division. Um, and to win a wildcard spot, probably 86
So you're
conservatively.
you're looking at 42 and 24 to win the division. You think they have to play that high? I still don't trust the Brewers. I just don't do it.
I mean, they got to make up 5 games right on them. So I don't know, like what do the Brewers have to do to get to that number?
The Brewers currently sit at 55
But
and 42. So
so they
they
have to
would need to
win
win
37
37
games.
games.
I mean, I wouldn't bet against them doing that, would you?
Yeah, no, I would not.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a rough estimate of what they should do. In terms of like my expectations, I genuinely can't give you expectations until I see what they look like on August 1st. Like, I just don't know.
That's fair.
Like from here, they need to have a good 2 weeks and they need to like force the front office to want to do something. Now, if there's nothing out there, then there's nothing out there, but I don't buy that. I think there are going to be teams willing to trade things. I think the Rays are going to be willing to trade people. Like Zach Eflin even would help this team out. Like he's not great. He's not the best you want, but he's better than what you have.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing is to get some names like we've heard the Chris Bassett. You've talked about him, Zach Eflin. It's not going to be Garrett Crochet. It's just not. Kevin Gausman's intriguing. His velocity drop scares a lot of people
It
who
might
I
make you not have
trust.
to trade much.
Right, that is true. Um, I just think I think Mo's going to have to, like you said, be creative. And from the comments that he made, I want to get your take on that too, where essentially he really just said bullpen help. Now we also know that
Where
he's
did you,
not going
I
to.
don't know, where did you see that?
Well, in the interview, right? He specifically said that they would be looking for relief help. That was his thing. Jim Hayes even said that I was shocked he didn't say starting pitching. But we also know that Mo's not going to tell everybody what he's looking to
Why do
do.
they need bullpen help? It's like the
That's
last
I'm
thing
just
they
letting.
need.
I didn't say it.
I, dude, if he does that, then just resign. Seriously, like legitimately resign. If that's what you think you need is a five starter and bullpen help, then you don't know what you're doing. And maybe he's just doing that thing where um he's going to try to over deliver, undersell and over deliver. That's been his thing forever, right? We didn't
Absolutely.
know we were getting Nolan Arenado. We always go back to that. But once again, Nolan Arenado, that trade's getting farther and farther into the past. Let's just be honest. Um, so I don't know. Like I don't. I would doubt that people that have had that job for so long would be that out of touch with how the sport works. The
Yeah.
thing that's frustrating to me, and I saw this interview the other day on MLB Network with the Rays GM, and I don't remember his name, but whatever his name is, the main guy in for the Rays. He said their formula is they know they need two top end pitchers and they need bat second hit for power. That's how you can win the World Series, and as well as really good relief pitching. Why does it seem like the Cardinals don't know this? Like every other team does. That they
It
need not just one or not half of one, but they need two legitimate top of the rotation pitchers, or you're putting yourself in a chance where you basically don't have a chance to win a World Series.
You've got Eric Neander, who's the Pobo
Eric
there,
Neander,
and
that's
then
what it is.
yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
like I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like other teams seem to know this. Like I get we can talk about 2011 with Chris Carpenter and the others that were there. But that's not common. That doesn't happen anymore.
correct.
Who was the last team that won a World Series that only had one top of the rotation starter? I
I don't
don't
know that answer.
Was it the Cardinals in 2011?
I mean, I'm
They
sure
might be the
there's.
last one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the Royals. That might be the answer is the Royals.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I don't get it.
Um, few things you talked about power bats. There's a few guys out there that I'm incredibly interested in, and the first guy's name is Brent Rooker. That's
Mhm.
the guy who just seems to make so much sense here in St. Louis. If you're not going to extend Goldie, which we hope that they do not, and I don't think that they're going to. Rooker's got 3 years left to control. He's 29. I don't think he's going to cost as much as everybody else does. The only thing that could drive his price up is demand. If the Phillies really want to get in on Brent Rooker or the Dodgers want to get in on Brent Rooker, then that could cost the Cardinals something. But that is a guy who you can either put him in right field, you can DH him. It depends on what you're wanting to do with Burley and you're wanting to do with Jordan Walker in the future. It just seems like that's a guy who would fit in here. All of a sudden, for a team that forever needed left-handed power, this team is desperately missing right-handed power bat in the middle of that lineup. And if you look at Brent Rooker's numbers, that guy sure as hell does would fit well here.
It makes a lot of sense, but there's no chance they do it, I don't think. Um,
That does seem to be the overreaching thing that I'm getting from everyone.
well, the reason I say this is one, he's going to cost a decent prospect or two, but also because he makes things complicated for not even only this year but next year. Like what's that mean for Jordan Walker? What's that mean for Brendan Donovan and Nolan Gorman? Are you gonna play only one of them? Are you gonna play both of them? Like that basically guarantees you're letting Goldie go. I don't know if they want to commit to that yet. It would complicate too many things to where they just won't do it, even though they should, because it would open up a
Yeah,
lot of avenues for you.
I mean currently a 942 OPS with the Oakland A's who are playing for absolutely nothing. I mean he
And a
absolutely
hard stadium
rakes.
to hit in as well.
Like it just I'm you're what you said is logistically logical. I hate it. I hate everything. Oh, we could have a problem next year. So let's not make our team better this year. I understand that there are people who look that way. There are also GMs who continue not to look that way and try to make the team better for the rest of this season with the guys in there and then worry about everything else when they get there. That's the way I would like to see the approach. Because if you put Brent Rooker in the middle of this lineup right now with the struggles of Goldie and Arenado to hit the ball out of the ballpark, we're seeing flashes at times from both of them, just no consistency, it feels like, as far as power goes. This team, all of a sudden, I mean, you said at the beginning of the year, Jordan Walker was your guy. You thought he was going to hit 30 home runs. I think a lot of people felt that way. Now you've got a guy in the middle of that lineup that when you surround him with all the power lefties, that lineup becomes maybe as deep as you have in the National League, especially considering Acuna's out and guys in Atlanta that are out of the lineup. to me, it just makes I just there's no logical reason not to do it unless you're saying we're playing for the future, which then why are we making a fucking trade anyway?
Who are you sitting if you trade Brent Rooker?
Okay, right now, Jordan Walker's still in the minors,
Yeah, not
correct?
him. I'm talking about,
Okay.
yeah.
So, I mean, you have that gives you flexibility. We still don't know what when Tommy comes. In my mind, Tommy is my super sub. So that's my answer. My outfield is very simply it is Donnie, Newt, who we've seen play center field a lot lately, by the way, and it's Rooker. Burley is my DH, and then Edmund can give guys a day off throughout the week, and he could play 4 days a week, easily doing that, if not five.
Do you trade Nolan Gorman if you get Brent Rooker?
I don't think you have to.
No, I'm not
Like
saying you have to. I'm saying, would you do
I
it?
would not. Now, I would not because I still believe in the ceiling
What
of
if he
Nolan
can get
Gorman.
you? What if he can get you a number two starter?
Give me a name.
Gilbert-esque, not him,
That's
not
number
him.
one. That's a number one starter.
He's not.
Logan Gilbert's an all-star. He's a
Fine,
number one
then.
starter.
Top of the rotation starter then.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
the
it's
Braves had
Logan
four
Gilbert
all-star
type, then
starters.
yeah, then all of a sudden I'm probably thinking about it. I don't like myself for saying that because I don't think they're going to deal Nolan Gorman. I just don't, and I don't want them to. But
If you trade
if
for
it's
Brent
low,
Rooker, one of the young guys is going to have to go eventually. You can't have all
oh,
of them.
did you do you not believe that Oakland would be interested in a Victor Scott and somebody else?
Are you trading Victor Scott for Brent Rooker and someone else?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
I'm not talking about Victor Scott though. Even he's not even in my plans right now. I'm talking about when Walker. Then the next year you're going to a spot where you have a roster crunch again with bad defenders.
You don't because now you
You
have
do.
Goldie
Walker,
out and
Burleson,
Burley's your
Rooker is
first
a crunch.
baseman, and your outfield is still Donnie, Newt, and Rooker.
Where's Jordan Walker?
That's your DH.
Yeah. Then where's Burleson?
At first base, I just said that because now Goldie is gone. That's what
So
I'm trying to say.
your
Like that
22-year-old
could figure
prospect's going to be
itself
a
out,
DH.
Caleb. We're so concerned about only having nine guys. Oh, it's always that way. And it's
No, I'm
like you
not
can't
saying
look
that.
at it like that.
I'm saying if they want the pitcher and they want the Rooker, then maybe it's time to trade one of those guys.
Oh, then maybe you're right.
Like maybe it's time to stop banking on all of these guys being as good as we think they can be. Let's be honest
Zero
about Nolan
argument.
Gorman. If you traded for a guy, a number two starter that was a legitimate number two starter, and you had 2 years of control over him, he's probably going to give you more value than Nolan Gorman's giving you. Like almost
I'm not
guaranteed value.
interested in giving Gorman for Rooker simply because I believe Gorman could
I'm
turn
not
into a
saying for
left-handed
Rooker,
rookie.
Dad. I
Well,
said
that's
a
what you said
pitcher.
earlier.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. I
No.
thought you said it might take Gorman to get him, and I
I'm
was
saying
saying
if
I
you
don't
want a
think that it
pitcher
would.
and you want Rooker, it's going to take, like, you're probably going to have to give one of those guys away.
I mean, you might.
And that'd be, I mean, at some point, Nolan Gorman has to be more consistent with his power. Like, he's a power
We
bat.
agree.
It's going to get to 30 home runs, but his 30 home runs isn't always hitting, a couple, like, five every month. It's always hitting 12 in one month, and another month he can't do anything. So I don't know. I don't want to trade him, but I also, like, I don't know. That would open up that conversation, I think, right?
I
If he
think
made a move
so.
like that. Like, then you can be open to that conversation. But I don't know if they will be.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It just seems to make sense. I saw today that Tampa Bay said that they're interested in potential or listening to offers for Paredes, Yandy Diaz, who by the way that's an intriguing name, and Randy Arozarena. I think the Arozarena thing has moved. I just think we need to move on from that. The other two guys I'm incredibly intrigued by the way.
If Yandy Diaz is available, I think he's going to cost a lot.
Well, okay, can we start talk like we kind of brought that up, but what is a lot? What does that look like? What is the starting point for a Yandy Diaz or an Isak Paredes?
Well, they're different. I would say for Yandy Diaz, it's multiple of your top pitching prospects,
Okay,
which I'm
that's
not
where it
doing.
would get. So that's where it would get tough for the Cardinals.
Probably with Isaac Paredes too. You get at least one of them. And I'm not trading any of them.
Did you call him Isaac?
Isak, whatever.
I
No, I'm
called
not.
him
I
Isaac for
mean,
2 years.
I'm not trading my young pitching for Yandy Diaz. Like I'm not because I don't think Yandy Diaz makes you that much better. Like he makes you a lot better offensively, but I don't think he takes you from where they are now to a World Series caliber team. Because I don't
Okay.
think they can get there without a number two starter.
What if the deal is him and one of the Tampa Bay at Zach Eflin?
For who am I trading?
I don't know. That's what I'm just throwing that out.
Like,
Like then,
am I trading Quinn Matthews and Teakins? I'm still saying no.
okay.
Like
So
you
do
at some
you?
point they got to have young starters on this team.
I agree. We agree with that. But I also think that we're getting to that point, and we've seen it to where these guys they've toyed with them so much that I'm starting to get a little PTSD in not believing that they're going to come up and be the guys we thought of. That's not. I'm not talking about Tink and Quinn. I'm just saying our overall system. We've seen it happen with so many of our top prospects that it does start to kind of hit you in the head a little bit and be like, maybe at some point we go and take the established guys like a Yandy Diaz, and if the other guys go on and be great, but then you run into the Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen for Marcelo Zuna, where that, by the way, was the deal to make at the time, but people today still blame Mo for that. So
Well, he didn't know what he had in either of those two, so he has a fault there. No, I don't like I no, you can't trade young pitching because this team doesn't pay for pitching, so you can't trade it.
so then I think the Cardinals are in a tough spot to make a trade then.
It depends. Like you can match up. That's where trading a bat would make sense. Like that's where there's almost if there are guys that want teams that wants the JC Prieto guys like that for your young for a pitcher, there's no reason to keep those guys here.
Where do you stand on trading Jordan Walker?
Who am I getting?
I
Crochet?
I don't know. I'm just saying, is he even on the table for you?
I think you have to listen.
Okay,
There's no way that you can be 100% confident that he's going to be what they thought he was going to be. I'm
I
not saying I
agree
don't
with
think
it.
he will be. I think he can be, and I wouldn't bet against it at all. But you can't sit here and say he's definitely going to be.
Obviously, the draft happened, and we will talk more about that on Sunday. So we don't have to get too deep into the draft. It does feel like, however, the Cardinals did hit the proverbial home run with their first pick, JJ Weatherholt. Like that does feel like that was beloved by many. The one thing that kills me is, and I know, and first of all, massive respect for Kareem and Kyle because those guys I know, and there's others out there. I'm just singling those guys out because they've been on our show. Those guys, the hours they put into watching tape. So when they say something, I tend to listen to what they're saying. I just get a kick out of all the other people who now literally it feels like taking what they've said, or they all subscribe to the same like magazine where you get the breakdown of every player, and then now they put that out as if they're the experts and they're not watching tape at all. I got people out there telling me that Tommy White's not going to be good. He might not be. I don't know. I just know that I know what he's done, and I've talked to coaches down here who either have coached in the SEC or who have played in the SEC or whatever. And one of the first guys they bring up is Tommy White because of the absolute power he has, and he's playing in the top level baseball you could play, and he's done it for 3 years, and he's damn near the NCAA home run leader. If he isn't, he might have already. I don't remember if he passed it or not. He's really close. Like, I don't know what he becomes. I don't know what any of these guys become. I hope they all become awesome because everybody had their dreams come true. And then when they get drafted, it seems like a lot of people are out there shitting on them. Oh, this guy, he doesn't hold. And I'm like, I feel bad for those guys. That's just me,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. It's just people act like they know everything and they know almost
Yes,
nothing. Like we know what these guys are right now, and you can like say, okay, they made the right pick based off who they are now. That doesn't
agreed,
mean we have any idea what they're
100%.
going to become. The thing, well, I want to get to JJ Weatherholt a little bit because it is a really cool pick. Before this year, he was like coming into this year, he was like consensus he's going to be the number one pick. Um,
Correct.
and injuries, like of course he has soft tissue injuries, which the Cardinals love. Which and obviously those like that's something that he needs to get under control, hamstring stuff, because he is fast as part of his game. But he is just one of the best hitters, probably the second best hitter in the draft, I think, behind Bazana. So I mean, that's an exciting pick. Like I thought Caglione was gonna fall to them for a second. I was like, I would take him, but what are they gonna do with him? Like that's why I kind of hope that doesn't happen because they'll complicate things. But it's pretty cool. Do you think they actually allow Caglione to be a two way in
They
Kansas
said
City?
they're going to. The Royals
That's
said they're
so
going to.
why
I
the
think because
writing
it's
is on the
sexy.
wall.
I think
The
right
writing
now
is
it's
all over the wall.
Otani's made it sexy, so it sounds great.
Yeah,
Makes
Otani
him
throws
easier to
off.
sign.
Yeah, Otani has good stuff.
I
All
mean, he
Caglione does
throws
is throw hard.
101. Like he's young. I think if you can tap into that, when you see that those numbers pop up, all of a
He
sudden you
throws
think you've
hard.
got something.
So is Mason Lynn.
I'm not going to stomp on Caglione because I think he's a stud.
I'm not
I
either.
think
I'm
he'll be in
just
the big leagues in 2 years.
yeah, me too. And that is a two-way player.
But I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like,
But
I don't
like
know.
the velocity, whatever, how hard would Ellie De La Cruz throw if he was on the mound? 100.
You're doing what those people are doing right now. You're shitting all over his poor
Okay,
dream
it's true. It's like he's just not that
just
great of a
because he
team.
went to Florida.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that. There's a lot of players. Harrison Bader went to Florida. I like him.
So did
I
Pete
like
Alonso.
Harrison.
Talk to us
I think
about
he's
him.
gonna. I think Caglione's gonna be a great hitter. I don't think he's a two-way player.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up one of those Mason Win likes where he
That's what
comes
I'm
into the
saying.
mind.
Burleson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, comes in thinking he'll be a two-way player and then quickly realizes, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
not, but who knows? Maybe he is great at it. We don't know. Who was the kid out of Louisville that did that? It was
Brendan
it Tampa?
McKay.
Huh?
Brendan McKay.
Yeah. What happened to him? Injuries
He tried to be a two-way player.
and couldn't be good at either. Is that what happened?
No, it's just too much wear and tear on your body unless your
It
name's
is.
Shohei Ohtani. And even him, how many surgeries he had.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait to talk to them about the other guys in the draft because, like, I'd heard names because I do watch a lot of college baseball. That does not mean I know anything about them. Like, legitimately nothing. I'd recognize some of the names. I know that Kareem was pretty excited about some of the late picks. Wasn't super geek between like third and fifth rounds. Kind of want to see where he is there with the Holiday kid from Oklahoma State, the kid from Oklahoma. They obviously loaded. I saw somebody a bunch of tweets. Boy, they really scouted the Big 12. Does feel like that is which is odd because if you're going to scout college conference, it should be the SEC or the ACC, and then maybe the Big 12. But maybe you can find some hidden gems in there. I know they got a couple high school bats. Am I right on that? That are
I know
and
they
then
got
the
at
kid
least
from
one, but I don't think he's going to
and
sign.
then the kid from Vandy, who everybody seems to be really high on, the Tommy John kid. Like people really seem to like him. I could not pronounce his name at all, but
Honestly, I
um,
haven't looked through it enough, so
yeah, so I'm excited to have them on. I'm just happy for all these guys. I mean, what a thrill to have your name called. Super cool to see Manny Ramirez kid get drafted, David Ortiz kid get drafted. That's got to be pretty cool moments for all those families.
yeah, it is cool. I think the draft's also just fun to watch, especially the first day. After that, I kind of lose it because like who knows? Like if you had told me Lars Nootbaar would have been a major leaguer, I wouldn't have believed you when we drafted him a couple years
I'm
ago.
not gonna lie, I knew nothing about Brendan Donovan until like 2 years ago.
Right, like that's just how it goes. So I
Right.
I hope they all do well. I don't know. We'll see.
And that's the one thing that I really like, and Kyle and Kareem will bring this up because they've talked about it before on here. But like, you just have no idea how a guy develops or what happened. Quinn Matthews last year was drafted in what the fourth or the fifth round. He was
Oh,
throwing 91 in Stanford. He now is at the futures game throwing 98. Like you just have no idea how these guys when they get on a plan and the dedication that some of them put in. Like you just have nobody develops linearly. Like that's just not a thing. So some of these guys, you get them in the system and you get them in the right, and all of a sudden their work ethic pops in. You got guys you had no clue were going to be this good, and then conversely, you think guys are going to be great. I mean, to me, the MLB draft is the biggest crapshoot of almost every draft, like of any draft.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it
You
definitely
know,
is. And that's why I think you say the Cardinals go a lot of college players because you get 3 years of development free, basically. Um,
especially at the big time levels, 100%.
That's why, like, if they would have gone with like Brett Bad over Weatherhold, I would have just gone crazy. That would have been the dumbest thing ever. Yeah, I don't know though. I hopefully they did well. A lot of people didn't like this draft in general because they just didn't think it had as much talent as normal. But we'll see. It could have more. Who knows?
Right.
Like there have been some drafts that people thought were going to be great, and then they end up almost no one doing anything. So we'll see.
Love Sonny, but it does seem like it would have been a good year to have a second round and a comp pick there with
Yeah,
how high they were drafting. That's what I mean.
yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. But
But
I mean, I
whatever.
would whoever that would have been, I would have traded for something great. So
Yeah, that's a very valid point. I want to talk a little bit. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but just a little bit about Ali right now. I mean, obviously we know that he's a polarizing figure in this city for some reason with this fan base. Whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. I will say this: I think Ali has done a fantastic job, and everybody's gonna say, "Well, that's because you guys are Ali lovers." Whatever. That's fine. I don't care. I still don't know what kind of manager he is. Nobody's going to know in their third year. You just don't know. But I think the reason the Cardinals are 50 and 46 is because of his aggressiveness with the bullpen. And I've heard a lot. All of a sudden, that's getting some traction among people who I do trust, and they've been talking about it as well. Right now, Ollie's thrown himself. If it weren't for Pat Murphy, is that the right name? Did I say that right? In
yeah,
Milwaukee? Okay, good. For some reason, that didn't sound right. If it weren't for him, he's your manager of the year in the National League.
he
Probably.
still
I
could
mean,
be if they win the
Derek
division.
Derek Derek Shelton's going to get some votes potentially in Pittsburgh, but Paul Skeens, thank you very much. By the
Yeah,
way,
right.
who is there anyone living a better life right now than Paul Skeens?
I'm sure there are a couple people. Yeah,
Not a lot. Not
no,
a lot.
yeah,
Anyway, anyway, I just feel like Ollie, all the only time the people come out of the woodwork is when there's a loss because of course, and it's all hindsight. It's never, oh, the players that he put in were the right players. They just didn't execute, which is part of baseball, by the way. I
that's
just
all.
feel like that's why we're 50 and 46, and that's why Ryan Helsley has 33 saves, and that's why Kittredge and JoJo and the emergence of Ryan Fernandez and John Keane and all these other guys. It's because of the way Ollie has handled the bullpen. Do we have questions some nights? Absolutely. Does he have way more information? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. And anyone that says he hasn't is just arguing in bad faith or doesn't know what they're watching. Like that's just I'm tired of playing this, like playing the fence on this. Like you can have your opinions. If you think Ali has done a bad job this year, you don't know what you're watching. Because
I
those same
agree.
people are going to also say that the roster's not good. So which one is it? Because you got that roster in the playoff spot so far. So pick one.
Yeah,
You can't have both. Like that's just dumb. You can't say, well, this roster isn't good, but Ollie sucks. Okay, well, if the roster isn't good and Ollie sucks, then they'd probably be losing a lot of games. Like, what are we talking about?
agreed 100%. I just wanted to point that out because I don't think that gets enough talk about it because instead it's, oh, why did he pull Sonny when he was at 83 pitches? Or why did he do this? Why is this happening? Why
Yeah,
is so and so on the roster as if he's the one making all of the roster decisions?
he makes none of
Um,
them.
correct. So
Yeah, and also
like
like if Sonny's pitching great still in September, no one's going to talk about this. But him coming out when he's throwing 80 pitches in June and July, that might be why he was good in September still,
could be.
maybe.
Could be. I
But no
like
one's
I
gonna
said,
talk
I
about
just
that.
wanted to point that
They're not
out.
even gonna mention it. Like if Sonny Gray has his best month in September, not one human being is gonna credit that to Ollie, even though they probably should.
What are your thoughts on Ivan Herrera being designated down to AAA? Where do you stand on that? And Pages being up here. Obviously, Ollie's comments very strong in support of Pedro Pages, which good for Ollie. Like what I mean, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, he
Pages
has to say that.
he's been very, very good. But I don't know that I just don't and again, maybe I need to talk to more. I mean, I think you'll know, but I think Kareem Kyle also know. I don't know that the difference between defense and Herrera and Pages is as stark as the offensive difference.
It's not.
Okay.
Like it's just not. And like that's not to discredit Pajes. He's been really good, but also like it's like Yachty just ruined them, and they have no idea what a catcher is anymore.
Yeah.
They think a catcher is just allowing no stolen bases and blocking everything. Like if you have this problem with Ivan Herrera with him throwing runners out, you had him for 2 years at AAA and the entire offseason this year knowing he's going to be on your team, and you have not helped him one bit. Why? Why? But now we need to get better with him. Now we know. You didn't know last year. Like what are we talking about? And half of these stolen bases are off of pitchers.
Yes.
Like over half. It's ridiculous. Like I'm not saying Pies doesn't deserve to be on this team. Sorry, I'm moving this for a second. I'm not saying that Pies has to
Gave me
doesn't deserve to be
vertigo.
on this team, but it's
You just gave me
ridiculous.
vertigo.
Sorry, I had something under it. It's ridiculous to me that Ivan Herrera is in AAA again because he doesn't deserve to be in AAA. He's at the very least your best bench bat right-handed bench.
That's bingo.
Like Dylan Carlson can't be treated as a right-handed bat anymore because he's not.
No.
Tottenham.
Couple things. First of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's glad to be back. We were going to come back on Sunday, but we figured everybody's watching the draft anyway, and I know that there was other stuff going on, so we wanted to wait until the season was getting ready. The second part was getting ready to kick off. If you could hit that subscribe button, we'd greatly appreciate. Those numbers have really started to soar. Thank you all for that. Caleb and I, just so you know, are joining you right now. Not the same people we were just a week and a half ago. Both of us had to have a tooth pulled, so we are less than whole right now. I feel like both of us are fighting through it and doing a great job.
Why did you have to say that? No one needed to know that.
Just because I felt like the world should know that we're playing wounded right now.
My mouth is hurting, to be honest with you.
See, see, there you go. Look at Caleb right now. He'll play hurt.
Okay. Is that Tyler O'Neill
Okay,
time?
if you were to right now give a first half MVP, who would it be?
I'm between two. I'm not gonna
Okay,
give it to a pitcher because I vehemently disagree with giving any MVP awards to pitchers. Uh,
100% agree.
I hate it. I think it's the dumbest thing that happens whenever it happens. Uh, I'll take Burleson.
Okay,
Um, he's the team's triple crown leader right now. So it's hard not to
okay,
give it to him. He's been so good. And like you talk about who's been the best player during their best stretch of baseball, it's been him and no one's even close, right?
yeah. I I looked at this and I looked at four people, and you took one of them. Um, the other three I looked at were Brendan Donovan
Well, pick
because
one. You get to pick one. You
hold
can't give
on,
all
I'm gonna
three.
go through it. The other two were Mason Wynn and Wilson Contreras. Like
Yeah.
that was my four. I'm gonna go with Wilson Contreras.
Okay.
I the reason is when he's there, like just the energy that he brings on a nightly basis to that team. Still confused why he wasn't in the lineup on Sunday, but there's probably a reason. Um, but I do believe that there is a very strong argument for Mason Wynn, simply because I don't think anybody saw this offense coming, and I'm so pumped for him and the hard work he's put in, and I just hope he can continue it. But let's also talk about we talked about Ali, the way he's handled the bullpen. The way he's handled Mason Wynn has been damn near perfect right now.
Yeah, he got hated for it.
Of course he does. Like, of
Um,
course he does.
yeah, it was just like Mason Wynn was dealing with back stuff early in the year, and it's probably a good idea to make sure that he's going to be okay. Like,
But Caleb, he's 23. How can he not play 400 games a year?
yeah, I don't get it. I don't get like why we hate athletes that need rest every once in a while.
Also, I'm so pumped for Wilson. Like, just after last year, for him to keep the attitude that he has had, I mean, everybody just freaking gravitates to that guy's personality and loves him. That's my pick, and it's probably foolish because honestly, Mason Wynn and Alec Burleson are the right answers. But I'm just like, it just
Yeah,
feels
the
like
thing
there's a
about Wilson,
different feeling with that team when Wilson's in the lineup and he's in there.
I agree, but the thing about Wilson is like their best stretch of baseball, he was injured.
I understand that, but that's not. I mean, that's
I'm not saying there's a correlation. I'm saying that's just the funny part about giving him MVP.
yeah, I agree. Super pumped for the other guy. Nice to have Newt back. Nice
I
to have Newt back. Like that just really strengthens that depth. Who do you think goes? What do you think they do with the roster when Tommy comes back?
feel like we talk about this every episode. I don't know.
We do. I mean, that's something we got to. I mean, that's a big one.
Don Carlson should be in AAA probably.
I agree. I agree.
That's what I would do. Or
Yeah.
or Crawford DFA, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
Looking forward, you've got the Braves for 3 in Atlanta. I wish we were going to that. That's about 6 hours down the road, but we're not, so that's okay. And then they go. I think do they go to Pittsburgh or does Pittsburgh go there? They got the
Um,
Pirates either way.
I have no idea. I can look. Yeah, so we need to do our predictions for the series.
Might miss Skeens. Could miss Skeens potentially because I
They're
don't
in
think he'll.
they're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, could miss Skeens. By the way, shout out to him.
No, there's no way they'll miss him because Keen's just
Well, I
pitched.
don't think he'll pitch. He's not going to pitch Friday.
Right, so he probably won't pitch until next week.
My guess is he'll pitch Sunday. That's my guess, which means we would miss him.
Yeah, maybe. Or they're gonna give him
That's my
extra time.
guess.
We'll see.
If he
Yeah,
pitched Saturday or Sunday, we'd miss him.
and they might have
Um,
announced it already.
so at Atlanta, do we know? Have they announced the pitching for Atlanta yet? On that,
Yeah,
I should.
Schwellenbach starting game one. And then I think it's Freed and Sale. Is that right?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. No, Morton and Freed. So they're facing Schwellenbach, Morton, and Freed.
so missing Chris Sale. That's big.
Yeah.
I think you have to take 2 of 3, but I have a feeling they take 1 of 3.
You have to? I don't think you have to.
Well, bro, I think right now you got to win series.
Well, yeah, you don't want to lose them, but if they lose
Yeah,
them, they'll probably still be in a playoff spot.
I'm gonna say they go 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think that I don't trust this Braves team at all. I don't know. Like that's a tough. I'm gonna say they take 2 of 3. I think they start off well off out of the break. I think they have to. Like August is tough. If they have a bad into July, they're in trouble. So I'm
Yes,
gonna say they take 2 of 3.
yeah. Cardinals. Who the Cardinals have? Sunny going. Love that on Friday. Then the old TBD on Saturday,
They
and
already
the
announced
TB.
it.
Oh,
It's
they did. Okay,
Gibson and Michaelis.
okay. Could be
Close.
interesting. Could
Huh?
be interesting.
My
Anything you
who?
got on the Cardinals before we get out of here? I got a few things around the league, but anything you got?
Not really. I just they need to go another hot stretch. If they do, then they kind of force the front office's hand. So I hope that's what happens.
A little bit about the All Star game. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm getting old. The All Star game has always been like my favorite. I mean, you and I we've always made plans on this week, like for Monday and Tuesday. Have loved the home run derby. Love the All Star game. Love all of it. Hate the jerseys. Glad to hear that maybe they're going back to the let them wear their own jerseys. That's the way it should be, especially for fans all over the country and the world. But this one just felt a little lackluster. I hate to feel that way, but shout out to Otani for his bomb. That was cool. Paul Skeens pitching right off the bat. That was a cool moment. Really pumped for Jaron Duran. Fuck him, right? Like I love that. I love everything about what he does, and his view on a lot of things. By the way, Chris Sale said one of the best humans he's ever met, and everyone seems to love Chris Sale. So like when you hear him talk about that, love all things about that. Shout out to Teoscar for winning the home run derby. I wish they'd go back to 10 outs, dude. It's too much for me to try to watch the clock, to watch when the ball lands, to watch the guy swing. I can't do all of that.
Yeah, I thought the entire it's not a weekend, obviously. The entire two
Right.
days was pretty underwhelming. Um, to be honest, I didn't think the home run derby was that great, and I didn't think the All-Star game was that great. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming cynical on All-Star games because I don't really like the NBA one anymore than I used to. Um, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. I think a
Yes.
lot of it is the star power is just not there. Like not
Yes.
having Trout there sucks. Not having Mookie there sucks. Altuve never goes anymore because well, he cheated and people don't like him for it. Um, so I don't know. Like it feels like there's just not the same kind of luster there used to be.
Yeah, and I feel that same like as a kid, my favorite event of the year outside was the Major League All-Star game and the home run derby, and it was a slam dunk contest. Like those were my like as a kid, that's what I lived for. And I feel the way about like I want to see the big boys back in the home run derby. And that's how I felt about the dunk contest since when Kobe did it one year and nobody else has done it. It's like nobody big has
How
really
can
done it
Major League
since.
Baseball incentivize people to get into the home run derby?
I think it's got to be money. It has to be
That
money.
already is. They're getting $1 million. I think
It needs
honestly,
to be more.
I think that's doing the opposite. Because I think you've got players like Mike Trout, let's just give him he's injured obviously, but let's just give him as an example. A guy making $40 million a year isn't gonna go in there and take money from a rookie who's making league minimum.
I mean, that
I
could
think it's
be. I
having the
don't know.
opposite effect
I
here.
don't know, man. And again, it could be one of these where we're giving 4 million to the winner. They can take two, and two goes to their favorite charity or
What
what,
they're
like
doing
things
now
like
with
that.
the 1 million.
I'm just saying, like I just feel like maybe that's something I don't know. One incentivize is 40 swings, 40 pitches versus 10 outs. I know which one I want. Like,
I saw someone say that they should make it non-optional. If you're in the top 10 in home runs last year or this year,
ah,
but the only way you can get out of it is if you have an injury in the June or July.
yeah, I'm not in for forcing
I
any
know, I
player to do
get it,
something
but
they're
I
not
also think
comfortable
that
in
would be
doing.
good for the game.
Yeah, I don't like anything like that. Don't give Rob Manfred that suggestion.
I know, but like, what? Imagine if Aaron Judge was in it. Like, how much more
Yeah,
entertaining?
I mean, I would have loved to have seen Judge, Otani. Oh, I mean, obviously Alonso was in there. He didn't
Otani
do well,
wanted to
but
do it, and his team wouldn't let him. Like, how ridiculous is that?
who?
Otani, he wanted to do it, but Dave Roberts said no.
Yeah, which also that's another problem.
That
So
shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be able to do that.
yeah, like those are the guys I want to see the stars, like Trout, Harper. I want to see Schwarber. I want to see those guys in
Can
the
you
home run derby.
imagine if we ever got the home run derby of Trout, Harper, not Schwarber, Trout, Harper, Judge, Otani? Like, you got those four in a home run derby. How entertaining it would be.
Yeah, and I feel like it's that way with the stars too. Like that's why I'd like to see them adjust a little bit on the
That's
rosters.
why the dunk contest sucks too.
Yes, I agree. Like
Because
I
it's
want
like
that's what I
we
want to see,
really
and
have
that's what the
G League
fans want to
players in
see.
it.
Now, shout out to Teoscar for doing it. Shout out to Teoscar for winning it.
Yeah.
But here's my other thing with the home run derby: you can't have the guy who has the most home runs wait 2 hours to hit again.
Yeah, Alec Boehm, like that sucks.
What are we like? Come on, bro! Like,
Yeah, also the new rule where they wanted to make it not head to head to start made it so long
yeah.
because everyone had to finish the entire round.
But
It
I
was
do hate the head to head, so I want that eliminated anyway. I want the top four who hit the most home runs in the first round in the next round.
it
So
made
that
the
I was
first
all
round
on
an
board.
hour
I'm
and a
on board
half.
with that.
The first round was like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, I agree.
I was ready for it to be over.
I wish they'd change a little bit on that week also. And I don't know how you do it. I almost think that maybe you don't have teams play on Sunday, and that can be the like during the day have the futures game. They have the futures game on like Friday night when there are other games going on. Like let's showcase the futures game. Let's showcase the Negro League or not the Negro League, the HBCU league game. That would be awesome. Like to showcase that, and then do the draft later in the day. Like that would let's make a full day of it, and then you can do the home run derby and the like. Putting the futures game. I think it was Friday night. That's absurd. Absurd. It's part of the All Star weekend, but everybody's still playing. That doesn't make any
Yeah, it
sense
doesn't
to
make
me.
any sense.
Yeah. So that's one thing I wouldn't mind seeing, or do all that on Monday and start the game, start moving back 2 days, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So, um, anything else?
No, I don't have anything. Nothing's going on, obviously, because baseball has been suspended. Not suspended, but gone for a
Don't
week.
say that.
Yeah, true.
Shout out to
Forgot about that.
Otani for his 200th home run. By the way, I meant to get that in. That's wild that he already has 200 home runs.
Hall of Famer already?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So is Aaron
Anyone
Judge.
says no.
Yeah, they're both Hall of Famers.
Yeah, they are. They're two of the best players I've
Yep,
ever seen.
agreed. All right, well, let's get out of here then. So Cards go down to Dixie to play three, and let's hope that they take two of three. That would be nice. Nice to have baseball back tomorrow. Good to get everybody back. I love the All Star break, but it does these Wednesday and Thursdays are long days with no baseball. So
Yeah.
everybody have a fantastic weekend. We will be back Sunday. I know Kareem is with us. Potentially, we got Kyle Reese with us, and hopefully everybody is good to go. And we can do a lot about the draft. We can talk about hopefully a Cardinals series win and a few other things heading into the trade deadline. Talk to you soon. Go Cards.